Job Search Planning, Module 1, Section 3, Utilizing the Job Posting. Let's look at what the job posting is to start off with, because I believe this is one of the most important parts of preparing for your job interview is the job posting. And a lot of people will apply for a job and never keep a copy of the job posting. So you should always retain a copy or download it some way or another, keep your job posting, because it can help you understand what type of questions may be asked during the interview. So basically, a job posting, someone's done a job analysis of some form of job analysis, and they put together the knowledge, skills, abilities, or competencies, we call them nowadays, required for the position. And so it is defined as an orderly record of essential activities involved in the performance of a task that's abstracted from a job analysis and used in classifying and evaluating jobs and the selection and placement of employees. Now, basically, in simple terms, like I said, it's just a list of the duties required to be able to perform the job. And why is that job posting so important in preparing for your interview? Beyond just a basic description of the job, there's a lot more than that. It will list the competencies and skills that they are looking for someone to fill that role or position. It will have the required qualifications, and if you don't have the required qualifications, I wouldn't even bother applying for that job. It'll give you some general company information. It'll also sometimes give you a qualification like be willing to work out in inclement weather or at heights, must be able to wear face shields or PPE. Another thing is it'll give the location of the job, and then you can see it from the job description, your fit. Do you fit the job, and does the job fit you? Do you meet those competencies and skills and qualifications? So it's important to get a copy of that job description. That's going to help you in preparing. You'll be able to try to figure out what types of interview questions may be coming, and you'll be able to maybe go ahead and get some examples ready for the different skills or competencies that you find on that job description or at job posting. This is just a sample job description, and I'm not going to sit here and go through it, but if you read through this and look, there are a number of different competencies or skills that are pointed out. And we'll go to the next slide. You may have to pause here if you want to read a little further. But let's go on to the next slide and I'll get into a little more detail. Now, from the sample job description, they had a section called What is the Role? What's the role? As you can see, it had HSSE performance, achieving sustaining cost competitiveness, superior customer service, maximizing the effectiveness of a cultural diverse workforce, delivering safety, customer service, and financial goals. So right there, just in that one sentence, it gives you a list of items that you can say, hey, I need to be able to give examples of where I've been successful in these areas. Let's just take a brief moment and look at the accountability section of this job posting. I mean, this job posting gives you a myriad of competencies and skills to help you prepare for your interview, from dealing with local, state, and federal regulators in a plant setting, managing incident injury-free, budget management, meeting deadlines for production, managing product quality, supply chain management, sales management, logistics planning, product experience. So when you go through this and you can start matching up where you've been successful in these types of areas or where you have experience in these types of areas. Next, you got 3 to 5 examples you can pull from that will cover. One example you may cover 3 or 4 of these areas. So when you're asked a question about these competencies or skills, or they ask you your experience in these areas through a behavior-based question, you're ready. You're ready to go. You've already know what you're working on. You already know where you're going in the interview. You may not necessarily have all the competencies. You do need to meet the required qualifications. However, sometimes it's hard to find someone that meets every competency in a job description. And in this case, you may be able to show where you can convey your potential to grow and learn. One thing you want to make sure of is that you meet the required qualifications for the job. In most cases, if you don't meet the required qualifications, your resume will get kicked out, graded lower, especially by applicant tracking systems. You won't even make it past an applicant tracking system. Now, some companies also put preferred qualifications, which is good to have those, but the required qualifications are what they're looking for. So also, you want to make sure the keywords in your resume line up with those required qualifications. So as I mentioned, sometimes job postings have company information. Like this one had a great deal of information about the company, and that will help you also in preparing for your interview. That's part of your company research. And you're going to hear me throughout this training refer back to the job posting because it is just that important to have a copy of the job posting when you're preparing. It helps you target in on where those interview questions will be coming from or what types of interview questions you might be asked. You want to know also if your resume's keywords fit the keywords in the job posting. And we're going to talk about the importance of that, about getting through applicant tracking systems and the bots just to get your resume in front of human eyes. So I'm going to say it one more time. Very important to keep a copy of the job description. Let's move on.